Dr. Nasser al-Qahtani has received his bachelor degree from the College of Pharmacy at Kingside University and has also earned his clinical pharmacy degree, Master's of Clinical Pharmacy degree from UCL, and also a PhD in pharmaceutical policy and outcome research from the University of Auburn in Alabama. Dr. Nasser is currently is an executive director for drug affairs and pharmaceuticals at the first central health cluster in the Ministry of Health. So Dr. Nasser will talk inshallah today about the principles and the different approaches to pharmaceutical pricing. So please join me welcoming Dr. Nasser.
Thank you so much, Dr. Al-Ghamdi and others and the organizing committee for inviting me today to talk about the vital topic, which is the basic principles of pharmaceutical pricing and what kind of policies and approaches that has been taken by either regulators or other beneficiaries in order to set up prices for the pharmaceuticals. Yeah, so there's actually a rationale for initiating strategies for pharmaceutical pricing, and this rationale actually has come from the controversial, aspects of pharmaceutical pricing in different countries. So I believe that the drug price is really very important to be set fairly well by different regulatory body in order to make a competitive market for all the pharmaceuticals and to reduce the drug bill on the country. There are different approaches for the pharmaceutical pricing are practiced in different countries. Basically, countries are seeking to achieve better value for money and drug spending. And in order to achieve this, the different regulators actually taking care of developing policies to manage prices of the medicines in different countries in order to improve the access of pharmaceutical products and to make sure that the medications are available to different people. There is always a need to have a robust scheme for pharmaceutical pricing, and that can be attained by better and will actually encourage more robust system to arrange better actually control in the procurement, distribution, or medicine reimbursement decisions. When it comes to pricing strategies, we have a lot of pricing strategies, and not all of them actually are, can fit with the pharmaceutical, per se. So some of them are really very, very helpful. Some of them are not actually, it doesn't fit with the pharmaceutical domain. So I will actually come up with the main pricing strategy that will help a lot actually in our real world to price our pharmaceutical in rationally. And the pricing strategy always dependent on the level of competition among all pharmaceutical products category. And it's important to understand the strategy of pricing, whether we are pricing a patent products, pricing generic products, or branded of patent products. Here are some strategy that are most likely to be used by different regulators to price products that actually submitted for registration in each country. Some of them like using cost plus pricing, and this is a very primitive way to price pharmaceuticals. External reference pricing, free pricing, profit control, value-based pricing, cost effectiveness pricing, and so on and so forth. I will start with the most simple concept, which is the cost plus pricing. It's actually a cost-based method Uh, the calculation of this method is basically very, very easy. It's a calculation of the average cost plus a markup. So when it comes to a formula that will help us calculating the pharmaceuticals price, is the cost plus equals to direct material and labor costs plus the direct and indirect overhead costs of the product plus markup. So what we mean by direct costs is the costs of all materials or raw materials used in the manufacturing process, in the proportion to increase the production, other direct costs that has not been mentioned in here, overhead costs, all other fixed and sunk costs involved in the production process, and the markup, profit margin, charges, profit margin for the supply chain, and so on and so forth. External reference pricing, this is one of the robust way of pricing pharmaceuticals. It's actually the practice of using the prices of a medicine in one or several countries in order to drive a benchmark or reference price. The purpose of this technique is to set up or negotiating the price of the product in any given country. The important element of reference pricing is actually to have a basket of reference countries that you can compare your price to, a basket of products who are actually have the same, let's say, indication or carry the same therapeutic value, price used for referencing that can be widely accepted and published in different entities or published by different regulators. And you need to have a calculation algorithm. This is how we widely use the reference pricing in different countries. So here in Saudi Arabia, we are actually recognizing 30 countries as a reference price to price our products here in Saudi Arabia. The second important and emerging concept in the pricing, which is a value-based pricing. And it's primarily based upon perceived or estimated value by the customer. The price that ensures that the expected health benefits or outcomes of a new technology exceeds the health predicted to be displaced elsewhere in the National Health Service due to their additional costs. So this is actually, this is what has been defined by the NHS in the UK, and actually is the widely accepted definition by the European countries. And this is the one that I liked actually to be reflected in this presentation. It's actually, this concept is shifting the pharmaceutical market from volume-based to value-based. Many tools that will help us actually achieve better value in the treatment. You know, different actually service provider can gain the benefit of this technique by introducing value-based agreements like discounting, risk sharing, indication-based managed entry agreement, risk sharing agreement, and other concepts that will help attain the value-based pricing. Another technique that's most widely used to price generic medications, it's a price capping. It's actually the percentage of the price of the product of the originator before the loss of exclusivity, and the pharmaceutical usually of patent originator or generic is priced as a percentage of the price of the originator. So for example, if we have a generic medication that wants to be registered in a given country, in order to enter the market, it will be priced, let's say, at 60% or 30% or whatever percentage has been identified by the regulator of the branded product or originated price. Another concept that has been used widely, which is cost effectiveness pricing. So basically the product is priced according to the relationship between its clinical effectiveness, meaning how effective is in comparison to the current standard of care, and its cost effectiveness in terms of value for money. Free pricing, many countries like the Far East countries, they are using the free pricing, and actually they are keeping the pharma industry actually propose their price, and they market their products based on the price that has been proposed by the company. The manufacturer can price their pharmaceutical at any price they want. And this is actually generates more liberal market for pharmaceuticals. The other way of pricing, which is profit controls. So basically this can be defined as the prices of pharmaceuticals are indirectly controlled through profit controls to the manufacturer, defined as return on the capital employed or return on the sales. These are least commonly used methods of pharmaceutical pricing, like the internal reference pricing. It's actually consists of clustering of drugs according to the sum equivalent criteria and defining a reference price for each cluster. Molecular reference pricing is medicines with the same active substances are grouped to define the reference price. Therapeutic reference pricing, this is another way of pricing medication. So of all the drugs that are used to treat a particular condition or a medicine that have a comparable therapeutic effects are grouped to define the reference price. And there is another way of pricing, which is managed competition in combination with molecular reference pricing. And this means that we combine molecular reference pricing and price cut for additional entrants with the same active substance. So this is actually some sort of pharmaceutical pricing techniques that's actually being used by different regulator actually to identify the pricing of pharmaceutical and in a given country. So this is actually what I have for today, and I will leave actually the explanation for the next speakers. We have some esteemed speakers, Dr. Yazid and Dr. Yasin, and they will elaborate more on the value-based and the reference pricing.